Assisted dying, giving terminally ill people the right to choose a pain-free death, or crossing a line and putting vulnerable people at risk. It is a highly emotive question. On the eve of the debate in the House of Commons, the head of the Church of England told me it is one of the issues closest to his heart.
I think it ranks very, very high in terms of dilemmas of our time. This is right up there at the top of understanding how we value life, how we treat people, how we understand what life is worth.
Currently, assisted suicide is against the law, but legal guidelines say people acting wholly out of compassion could avoid prosecution for helping people end their lives. The bill to be debated would allow doctors to prescribe a lethal dose to terminally ill patients judged to have 6 months or less to live and who request it.
Do you really believe that the current law works?
It's not tidy, but these situations aren't tidy, and sometimes we have to accept that you can't make everything neat and clear-cut.
But there are many people who say the law is a mess. The former Director of Public Prosecutions for once, the former Lord Chancellor, the one person every fortnight who's travelling to Dignitas in Switzerland, they would say the law is broken.
I disagree. I think that this law would cause more breakages than the present situation does.
The Archbishop fears vulnerable people might feel they ought to die, to not be a burden, and that suicide would be seen to be actively encouraged.
The evidence around the world is that there is a slippery slope. Once you cross this line and say that we accept that part of the role of medicine is deliberately to kill people, that there is always pressure to go a little bit further. I've watched all kinds of different deaths over time, some of them not at all good. And yet, as a carer, I've done that. And I've felt that sense of, oh, I wish it was all over, when I was exhausted, sometimes when I wasn't. And yet, come back to the point that that is not giving life its full value.
It is a complex issue. Ultimately, it will be for Parliament to decide. Tessa Chapman, 5 News.